Mega Texas Barbecue actually started in 2015. I started selling barbecue, just kind of a little side hustle deal, selling plates out the trunk of my car. When I started selling it, my wife said, well, if you're gonna do this, what are you gonna call it? Mega Texas actually comes from, it was my nickname. My buddies used to call me Mega. I moved to Texas in 2007, and one day, one of my buddies called me and said, hey, what's up, Mega Texas? And this kind of had a good little ring to it, and it eventually ended up becoming my Instagram. That's kind of how it started. You know, of course, we opened the gas station in 2018. I sold out my very first day. We started to get a little bit more of a following. There was a little bit of a buzz behind us. We ended up being featured in a story in the Fresno Bee, and one of the things they said is this the best barbecue in the Central Valley? We went from having like 4 or 5 people in line to having 15, 20 people in line in the back of a gas station on the corner of Fresno and McKinley. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that, another videographer came in. He said, hey, I'm with a video company. It's called Localist. We're doing an episode called Worth the Wait, and we heard about you have lines here in the gas station, so I'm gonna, do you mind if I interview some people and go around and take some video? I said, go ahead. And so we ended up going from 20 people in line to about 50 people in line. I started selling out everything I could make. Every smoker I owned cooking me the night before. We couldn't get it out fast enough. Over the years, our barbecue has just gotten better and better. We've just hit 40,000 followers. Anytime you're over 10,000 on Instagram, you're in the top like 2% of Instagrammers. We just recently were named one of the top 50 Texas-style barbecue joints in the country by Texas Monthly. And I think that's something that we're not typically known for in Central Valley is barbecue. But I think what we do now is set a new light. For me, it's such a huge honor to think that when I first started, it was just selling plates. It was just selling food, you know, but to be recognized as a rising star business in your community by people who are your peers, other people who own businesses. It's not something that I think I really anticipated. You know, this is a part that I guess we didn't see that this was even a possibility. You know, one of the things that I used to do back in the day was I did barbecue competitions. People always ask me, you know, are you ever going to compete again? You know, you're tired of competing, are you retired? I said, no, I'm not done competing. Just the competition is myself. You know, we're trying to do better than we did before, and the type of awards that I want now are not for the ribs, they're for my business. But we definitely couldn't do it without the team that supports us. They care just like we care, you know. So when I first started selling barbecue, it was for my family. I was for my wife and my daughter. Now the way that we look at it is when you walk in here, we're cooking for you and feeding you the same way we would our family at a family gathering. That makes such a huge difference in what you get and the way you feel.